Yesterday, the First Minister offered congratulations to the convicted felon Donald Trump on his re-election. Writing officially on behalf of the Scottish Government, he wrote that he is sure Scotland's cultural and social ties with the US will flourish during the presidency of a misogynist, a climate denier, a fraudster, a conspiracy monger, a racist, a far-right politician who tried to overturn an election result both covertly and by inciting violence. Words fail me. What social and cultural ties does the First Minister really think will benefit from a relationship with such a man? And more importantly, what has the First Minister done so far to reach out to the marginalised and vulnerable people whose lives are most directly threatened by a second Trump term?
Welcome to another episode of Seen and Heard podcast. I'm your host, Sharon, and my lovely co-host, Miss Kenneth. Hello, Miss Kenneth.
Greetings. Thank you for having me.
I wanted to put that in the record because they are trying to scrub archives of history and rewrite it in real time as we speak. And I also wanted to share this Valentine's Day. Let me see here. I got to show the photo. On Valentine's Day, Trump put out a statement that he did not want the word felon. That was the point of me playing that video, because there were numerous world leaders that were speaking and calling him rightfully a convicted felon after he was installed in the White House. So this is the letter that he put out, and it says, "In light of recent events, until further notice, I am directing all staff, operations, personnel, cabinet members, and White House visitors to stop using the word felon while inside the White House or on the White House grounds. Whether in conversation or in writing, failure to comply with this directive will result in immediate expulsion and or disciplinary action." That was put out February the 14th, and there's his little scribbly signature there in the corner. So I just wanted to make sure that I shared that, so you guys can go back and re-watch this podcast, and it's on record. Miss Kenneth.
So, what if everyone got a big old billboard sign, felon, went down to 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, stood outside the gates, because the White House is encircled with wrought-iron gates. Stood outside the White House, and we just stood there with our big old billboard signs that read felon. Now, I'd take my chances if I thought I could get away with it and have a bunch of people go down there and spray paint felon on the sidewalk all around the White House. But I'm not really trying to go to jail there. However, my billboard, I should be able to do it with my billboard whatever I want to do. And just imagine 100, 200, 300 people surrounding the White House, and every single person's poster says felon. What's he going to do to us? Come out and lock us up?
And who is he going to have to clean it up since they're firing everybody?
Well, who's going to come out and lock us up? his boys on top of the White House with the AK, I guess, what are those things? AK-37, 47, whatever those guns are. Is that who he's going to have?
And speaking of more censorship, King Musk is, let's see, so the Washington Post this week backed out of fire Elon Musk advertising order that was to run as a wrap on some of its Tuesday editions, according to the advocacy group Common Cause. The group said it signed a $115,000 agreement with the Post to run the ad that would have covered the front and back page of Tuesday paper, as well as a full page ad with the same thing inside the paper. It said it planned to purchase the ad in collaboration with the Southern Poverty Law Center Action Fund.
Mhm.
So this is a picture of one of the ads, and then you see there's a QR code down there as well. Learn more at firemusk.org. And I'm going to share another image that they were going to put in there. It was this one. So what do you think of that censorship?
So here's a thought. Nobody wants to say it, so I'm going to say it. This country is on its last leg. It is about to become a greater fascist country than was the country that Hitler stood up with his racist tactics and his Heil Hitler and all the other things that he did. And I keep telling y'all need to go get some stock in Great Kool-Aid, because all these people who voted for Trump because they just knew that he was going to come in and make life so much better for them and so much worse for people who have my skin color. They gonna have to drink some Great Kool-Aid, and it's not gonna be long. I give them a year, and they all gonna be somewhere down in some place somewhere, down in the bayou somewhere, sneaking off in the woods and the swamps, drinking Great Kool-Aid. Nobody can stop this. If we want to go to firemusk.org, I don't know what's there, but if we want to go to firemusk.org and send it around to all our friends and ask our friends to send it to some more friends, what Washington Post can't stop that. All they can do is say, Big Daddy is not going to let me run it, so I can't run it. But we certainly can support them. We can start our own campaign, and we can tell everybody we know, go to firemusk.org. And if you agree with it, then pass it to the next person or persons.
So to piggyback off of what you just said about where this country is headed, I want to play a very short 1-minute clip of a video of Curtis Yarvin. Now, this guy he's instrumental along with Peter Thiel, and then there's some other nefarious actors behind the scenes, while everybody is distracted with the shenanigans of Trump and Elon. These are the people that are behind the scenes and trying to restructure and redesign this country and the government and tear down the government. So I'm going to play this clip here.
As they try and tear down the country, we have to be very mindful of the fact that Trump issued an executive order to bring the 4% of the population of South Africa to this country because they are victims of racism. 4%. Those are the Afrikaners. And in his executive order, he actually does say white people. And they have signs in South Africa that say, make South Africa great again. If we were not sure of the message behind make America great again, seeing those signs, we have to be crystal clear on what the intent is. The intent is to have this country lily white. And let me tell you something. I would love to have dual citizenship somewhere, but you ain't gonna drive me nowhere. The blood of my ancestors is mixed into the soil of this country, and I'm not going nowhere. You're gonna have to come to my house, kick my door in, and drag me out of here.
They are trying to isolate us as well, even for those that may have option to leave. They're isolating us in a way globally that nobody is going to want to let us in. So, but this clip, I'm going to play this real quick, and then we're going to talk on the other side.
democracy should be replaced by what he calls a monarchy run by a CEO.
Monarch is good. It's a neutral term.
But while Yarvin himself may still be obscure, his ideas are not. Vice President-elect J.D. Vance has alluded to his notions of forcibly ridding American institutions of so-called wokeism. And Yarvin has also found fans in the most powerful and increasingly political ranks of Silicon Valley, like Mark Andreessen, the venture capitalist turned informal advisor to President-elect Trump.
We are living under FDR's personal monarchy.
Peter Thiel, a Republican megadonor, has called him a powerful historian. On top of it all, Yarvin has become a fixture of the right-wing podcast universe. He's been a guest on the shows of Tucker Carlson and Charlie Kirk, among others.
Thank you for that lovely intro, Tucker.
I've been aware of Yarvin for years, but always thought of his work as pretty fringe. A lot of what Yarvin has to say is disturbing, and the historical evidence he justifies it with is riddled with exaggeration, distortion, and sometimes just plain inaccuracy. But given that his ideas are now finding an audience with some of the most powerful people in the country, Yarvin can't be so easily dismissed anymore.
When you say to a New York Times reader, democracy is bad, they're a little bit shocked. But when you say to them, politics is bad, or even populism is bad, they're like, of course, these are horrible things.
I'm David Marchese, and here's my conversation with writer Curtis Yarvin.
Was all I was going to play of that because that video is like 55 minutes or something. So I will have a link to that video. So if y'all are interested in watching it further, you'll be able to click on it. Thoughts?
Give him a little bit longer hair. He just looked just like Charles Manson.
So he considers liberal democracy as a decadent enemy to be dismantled. Is intellectually influential on he's intellectually influential on Vice President J.D. Vance and close to several proposed Trump appointees. The aftermath of Trump's election victory has seen actions and rhetoric from Trump and his lieutenants that closely resemble Yarvin's public proposals for taking autocratic power in America. That's where we're headed.
And again, a whole lot of y'all gonna be drinking grape Kool-Aid. It is cult-like. I don't care what anybody says, it is cult-like. And when you, as you said, divide, separate, and pull us apart, then you can move in and do whatever you want to do. I don't know that Black people are so divided right now as we are traumatized. Mm-hmm. And we need to be less traumatized. And we need to ask ourselves, what are some things we can do? Instead of, there's nothing we can do. Of course there's something you can do. You just have to want to do it. Now, the people on the red states who voted to get little man back in office because they thought that he was going to be their saving grace and do to us what they dream of having done to us. And now they're finding out he don't care. He gonna take your health care just like you take everybody else's health care. He gonna take away SNAP benefits. All y'all out there who've been, enjoying SNAP benefits, getting some free food, and I don't mean free food in the aspect of it's something extra that you have, but getting the food that you need to feed your family, he gonna take it away from you. He is going to do away with SNAP benefits. He's going to do away with Medicaid. He's going to do away with all those things that you all, mean no disrespect, hanging out in the trailer parks, that he's going to take it away from you. And now you all are going to see what it's like to live the way we have been living for 400 plus years. We know how to take some beans and make them stretch for a week. Y'all need to be ashamed of yourselves for what you have done to cause this country to be where it is. It's not that Donald Trump and Elon Musk have done it. Y'all did it. Y'all did it.
Not only that, this is the other guy I was thinking about. We have done a podcast last year. I talked about Leonard Leo. This is the guy Leonard Leo. They have injected the ideology that the Curtis Yarvin was speaking about. This is Leonard Leo from the Heritage Foundation. Is it the Heritage Foundation?
Yeah,
Let's see.
Foundation. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so he is a moneybags guy too, but they're the Federalist Society. No, he's a leading figure in the Federalist Society and other conservative legal groups. Leo identified and promoted the careers of lawyers and law clerks who shared his views of the Constitution, and he's the one that we have to thank for getting Kavanaugh and that lady,
Amy Coney.
Amy Coney. That's courtesy of this guy, Leonard Leo. And he's dangerous. This ideology that they're spewing has been injected into the populace of, like, the people you're talking about in the red states. They're listening to all these right-wing podcasts and things like that. And I want to show a quick clip of Stephen Miller today losing his mind when the reporter on CNN, this is a clip because I don't watch CNN, but he's losing his mind, and he is part of that same cabal as well. So let me play this clip really quick about, let me see. Yeah, this is it. Okay, we'll talk on the other side of this.
Cuts. If you agree there is waste, if you agree there is abuse, if you agree there is corruption, why are you not celebrating the cuts, the reforms that are being instituted? Every day that no action is taken, the entire salaries of American workers that are taxed disappear forever.
Stephen, let's calm down.
This is
we're not having a debate.
There's no reason
about whether there are
you are
places.
clearly trying to debate me, and I will be as excited as I want to be about the fact that we are saving Americans billions of dollars, that we are ending the theft and waste and grift and corruption, that we are stopping American taxpayer dollars from subsidizing a rogue federal bureaucracy that has been relentlessly weaponized against the American people.
Okay,
you
Stephen,
may not care about
I'm
this
not
issue.
talking about
your colleagues may
whether
not care about this
there's not
issue.
an
But we care about this
area to
issue.
cut in the
The
government. I
American
understand
people
that,
care about
Stephen.
this issue.
They also care about
They are in the death throes of white rage. That's what that looks like to me. The death throes of white rage.
But see, we don't know whether it's the death throes of white rage or a coveted Academy Award performance. You don't know, because the word could be, whenever you're in the public eye, you just go with so much aggression, and you don't let anyone else speak but you, and you slam your fists and you get angry and you get all right crazy. We don't know if they are for real, as teenagers say, for real passionate, or if that's their if that's their instructed behavior. When you're there, this is how you're going to behave. And as far as waste is concerned, let me ask you a question. Why was it important for Donald Trump to go to the Super Bowl? How much money did it cost him to go to the Super Bowl? How much money did it cost for them to have to rearrange everything for his safety? How much did it cost for him to have his Secret Service team with him? How much did it cost? And on top of all else, the plane, Air Force One, was packed with people. Why was it packed with people? Because when they flew over, as far as I'm concerned, it's always going to be the Gulf of Mexico. When they flew over the Gulf of Mexico, he made it his business to have the executive order or whatever it was, renaming the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of America. And his minions who were on Air Force One, they were clapping and yeah, woo, 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 woo. So how much did that cost? And it didn't have anything to do with him going to the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl was a ruse for him to be able to be in the air over the Gulf and be able to, because why would he have had that order with him? If you go into a Super Bowl, you're going to some sports event where people are going to be partying, eating chicken wings and whatever all else, and you just happen to have it with you. This stuff is made up. It's just made up.
Speaking, look at this waste. This was a day ago, 2 days ago. He goes to the NASCAR. Fly over at Daytona 500 and laps in the Beast costs over $25,000 in extra fuel for Air Force One and at least $20 million in other costs. This trip for Trump to be booed by the NASCAR fans could have paid for 270 federal workers making $75,000 a year that Musk fired.
So did he not get booed at the Super Bowl?
And they censored that as well because the news organizations outside of the United States, they played it in real time as it happened, and there were audible boos. But here, because it aired on Fox, they edited and added a cheering track.
Again, when these people wake up and smell the coffee and see what day it is and what time it is, y'all gonna wish you had bought grape Kool-Aid, because a whole lot of people ain't gonna be able to handle this. Just look at it just real quickly. All the people who drove 1,500 miles, as an example, to be here to see Donald Trump's swearing in, to get to D.C. and discover that Donald Trump moved it indoors, that it wasn't even going to be something they could see, and how disappointed they were because they drove 1,500 miles, 2,000 miles just to see him be sworn in. And here we are, a month later? Yeah, a month later. And these are all the things he has done to people in a month. No SNAP benefits, no Medicaid, no health care. These people are going to snap. They are going to literally snap. Now, I don't want them snapping at us. I want them snapping at the right recipients. Go on down to 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue and unleash there.
Now, I wanted us to talk about this before we ran out of time in honor of Black History Month. You mentioned this earlier, how the Naval Academy faculty are told to avoid what they say are divisive concepts like systemic racism. The guidance from the provost follows Trump's recent DEI-focused executive order, which some say seeks to erase history and diversity. And I'll post the link to this article so y'all can read it. This is the Baltimore Banner.
So then the question becomes, why are y'all sending your children to college if what they learn is going to be controlled, if what they learn is going to be whatever Donald Trump wants it to be? And Donald Trump is not an educated man. He's not. I don't care what anybody says.
I don't think he can read. I don't think
he's an idiot. He's an idiot straight up. So now your children, I don't know how much it costs to be at the Naval Academy, but I can imagine it's not cheap. Even if they come out, take their commission and go into the Navy, there still has to be a tuition. So your child is there trying to learn to become a commissioned officer in the Navy and gonna come out and not even have any clue as to what the history is. And we saw this coming with the critical race theory and how upset they were. We saw it coming with suddenly having to ban all the books. So I just gotta say one more thing that we gotta mention. Yeah. So you're banning a book, Charlotte's Web. I think that's one of the ones that's been banned because she's talking to a spider and the spider's talking back to her. Which one is less intrusive, less offensive, less frightening? Charlotte talking to a spider in a web, or looking at any of the shows that are on primetime, Criminal Minds, FBI Files, Snap, Dateline, where they literally show blow by blow by blow the brutalities of those crimes. Which one is worse? If you want to ban something, then ban all those shows. Instead, you're banning Charlotte's Web, which enhances our baby's imagination. That's ridiculous.
Well, a lot of those shows are indoctrination as far as like propaganda. They're always putting the cops, and they are conditioning people's defenses into thinking the cops are always the good guys. So I personally had stopped watching those shows years ago, but we're going to talk more on that. I wanted to respond to a commenter before we go and also add if you like this programming, please thumbs up, share. If you're able to donate, that helps us to keep the lights on. And I want to respond to one of our commenters on a video I did the other day. Hold on, I'm gonna show the comment here. Let's see. They said, let's see here. Here it is. This is from the commenter, and this is not really necessarily to shame the commenter, but this is the video. Why are people boycotting Target, Walmart, and Coca-Cola? And they said it won't hurt Coke because they're around the world. Well, I saw a video where, because I'm not in the Latin community, so I can't really speak for them, but I did learn that the Latin community is the bulk of Coca-Cola's revenue. So I just wanted to play this quick clip in response to that. Let's see.
So while you do bring that up, Coke just stood up a plant in Burkina Faso also. So offensive. Ooh, good for Mexico.
That's well, it had audio. I thought I had the audio up here. Okay.
No immigrants. And it is reported that this could be worldwide, since in the United States and Mexico are not consuming the drink, as it is now Latinos' favorite drink. And Coca-Cola could disappear. And Mexico responds. Tensions between Mexico and the United States continue to increase, and now Donald Trump has launched a new threat. Send troops to Mexican.
La Pepsi se convierte en la bebida favorita de todos los inmigrantes latinos, sobrepasando a la Coca-Cola. Desde que se dio a conocer que la Coca-Cola está en contra de los inmigrantes.
That was the response to that comment, or the commenter on that video. So like I said, if there are any Latin listeners or viewers, weigh in and share your story with the commenter or help him out, because like I said, I'm not part of that community, but I did learn recently how much Coke that the Latin community consumes. So
yeah, y'all can show up at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue with a billboard that says felon and a 6-pack of Coke. In one hand, hold up your billboard, and the other hand, pop the tops on some Coke and just pour it on the sidewalk.
And on that, we will see you guys on the next one. Please don't forget to thumbs up, like, share, comment, leave us a voicemail if you like, leave us a video comment as well. We'll play your video comments on the show, and we will see you guys on the next one. Bye.